Alright, let's learn to play bass. It's quite easy. You only have 4 strings. They should be tuned E, A, D, G, and you can use a tuner or a program for that. Get it solved, and then you can get started. If you use a pick, get your thumb out, get your other finger to line up with it like this, and then shove the pick right in the middle until only the point comes out. Hit it with that. If you want to use your fingers, be like James Jamerson, the only bass player that all the bass players agree is one of the greatest, and he just uses his index. That's the other way to go. Now, the thickest string is the E string, right? We're gonna play this. The 0 means open string, so you just hit it 4 times. And the dots on top of it means that's where you bob your head to. Quarter notes, we call them. So with a beat, that's the beat. So if you play this, it would be. Now we will also use the left hand. See it as if you have 1, 2, 3 fingers. And when you put them on the fretboard, they each go in their own square. Easy enough. Now you can count them, and you can see that this is 1, this is 2, this is the 3rd square. And if we put our index finger straight on the thickest string inside the 3rd square, somewhere in the middle, the note gets higher than when you leave it open. We can also do it on the 5th block. It's even higher. That's an A, by the way, and this one on the 3rd is a G. And now we can play this. I need to be myself. I can't be. So remember that these 2 fingers stay together. Very important in the beginning especially. Now it works the same on other strings as well. So if we take the 2nd thickest string and go to the 5th block, why not? That's a D. So I think now you should be able to play this. Pause the video, look at it, try to play it yourself, and then play along. Go. Now I'm stopping the notes in the middle, as you noticed, on the snare. You can hear it in the beat where I stop it. That's Sunday Morning by Maroon 5. You can play along to it now on YouTube. It's your first song. Congratulations. Those are most parts. For the choruses, maybe all I need. It's just the same, but don't make them silent. In darkness she is all I see. Now come and rest your bones with me. Riding slow on Sunday morning, and I never wanna leave. Now the next song we'll learn, Knockin' on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan, or Guns N' Roses. But they play it 1 lower than this, so like this. But we'll do the Bob Dylan version for now. You might notice that right before changing notes, I already let it go and then move to the next note to give a little break in between. It works very well rhythmically. So now we've played some songs. You know that this is an E, you know the G, you know the A, you know the C, you know the D. This open string is also an A, you might remember. That's because the 5th fret is always the same note as the next open string, which means that if you play 5, 6, 7, 8 on the thickest string, it would be the same as 0, 1, 2, 3 on the A string, because that's -5 on the next string. So far we've been playing one note per chord, the root note. But you can do more, because on each chord you can play the root note, but also the 5th, which is a note that is 7 frets higher than the root note. So if you're playing an E chord, then the 5th would be on the 7th fret. Or -5 on the next string, on the 2nd fret of the A string. So it's actually 1 string up, 2 frets up, and then you got it. So, and you can do that on every chord. So on the D chord that we played, then the 5th is 2 frets up, 1 string up, and it's actually also right below the root note. Wait, so this is the 5th, and this is also the 5th? Yeah, because, well, each note repeats after 8 notes. It's what they call an octave, but this is an A, and this is again an A. It's just higher, as you can hear. And the octave is actually the same interval everywhere. 2 frets up, 2 strings up, or in reverse order, 2 down, 2 down. So on the D, the octave is all the way up here. Now that we know this, on every chord we already have 3 notes to play. For instance, on the C chord, you have the root note, the 5th, and the octave. And you can do a lot of fun things with that. If we apply that to Sunday Morning, our Maroon 5 song, it makes it a lot more funky. You can play around with that. The last thing we'll talk about is major and minor, because you might have noticed that some of these chords were major and some of them were minor. Well, the difference is in that note of the chord, the 3rd, that we didn't talk about yet. Because on a minor chord, listen carefully, the 3rd is 3 frets up from the root note. So if you were playing a G on the 3rd fret, then the 3rd is on the 6th. And the 5th is still here. So then a minor 1, 3, 5 could be played like that. The major 3rd is 4 frets up from the root note. So if we're playing the G, then the major 3rd is on the 7th fret. And the 5th is still here. So then a G major chord has the notes. You can hear the difference between the 2 chords very clearly. G minor, G major. Of course, in each case, you can do the -5 on the next string trick. So the minor 3rd then goes to the 1st fret on the next string. And the major 3rd goes to the 2nd fret. And that's a very basic bass line that's often played on a chord. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a rabbit, you ain't no friend of mine.